Good morning, everyone. My candidates have been asking me, sir, what is this tour of duty all about? Frankly speaking, there are more questions about tour of duty rather than the clarity of the government policy.
Don't forget to subscribe to our new channel SSB Short Plus for exclusive new videos. Also follow us on Instagram for all the latest updates. Check out a short guide to crack SSB on Amazon. The link is in the description below.
Frankly speaking, the government has not come out with a clear-cut policy about the tour of duty, how it is going to be implemented. See, for the past 2 years, there has been no enrollment, and we are hearing the only reason for this is the tour of duty, which is going to be a kind of 4 years of service for the youth to serve them in the army is going to be implemented. And if whatever videos I have seen, whatever views I have heard in various channels, particularly senior armed forces officers have been completely against it. There is hardly any voice in favor of tour of duty. I think it is mainly because the policy of the government is not very clear. What is this tour of duty? How it is going to be implemented? And how if everybody goes out of after 4 years, what happens for the residual manpower which is required, minimum manpower required for the armed forces? How that is going to be maintained? So I will just give my views on this, and hopefully the government policy is going to be clear in next few days. My dear students, I think let's wait for the clear-cut policy announcement of the government, and it may have some silver lining in this, some wonderful points in this thing. I feel what is good in this? Firstly, guys, the moment government opens it for the youth, large number of youth of the country may undergo army training for about 6 months. And they can join as early as 17 and a half, and the upper age limit the government can fix it, say up to 23, 24, because this entry in the armed forces may have to be opened even for graduates, even for 12th class candidates, students, even for technical graduates, because they may also be wanting to come, because nobody will spoil his education just for coming to the armed forces. And again, after 4 years doing his engineering. So the age bracket, firstly, I feel has to be pretty long, say 17 and a half years to about 23 or 24 years. Because all segment of the youth, whether they are technical graduates, whether they are in the lower educational qualifications, so they have to be given a chance. Now, secondly, what happens after these 4 years? Guys, I agree that one great benefit, we will have a vast trained manpower readily available in the country. Whenever the need arises, see, the second line of defense is ready. Like we used to have territorial army, perhaps this role may be given to this tour of duty now. Large number of youth who go after 4 years will be available for a backup manpower. Secondly, our recruitment policy is very confusing and very haphazard. You see, the requirement of CRPF, BSF, paramilitary forces, armed forces, to some extent the police is more or less the same. In certain segment, at least the physical standards, the fitness, the training, etc., the firing, and so many other physical activities. So these guys who come for the tour of duty are naturally suitable for joining the various branches of the armed forces and paramilitary forces. Even from these manpower only, the CRPF, the BSF can look for its own manpower. So guys who perhaps do these 4 years of training, if they want to join, they have a ready entry available. They may, a further written test may be conducted for them. It is available for a choice is available for the youth to join any other force. Now the next point, which is equally very important. Now what happens, how the manpower, because we need soldiers up to 12 years, 13 years. We need the manpower who will take over as a NCO, JSOs, Nayaks, Haldar and Naib Subedars. What about them? So out of this tour of duty, the government has two options. Either a segment of this, all those who volunteer to continue in the army, out of them the guys who are doing well, they continue to serve in the armed forces. Or they are given an option after 4 years to clear a written examination or some exam of that kind, where if they clear that, they give their options to continue in the armed forces and they continue without any break in service. The remaining people who don't qualify that test or who are not found suitable because of various factors go in the civil stream. They may pick up any other job. The guys who are volunteer for the armed forces, they can, with certain qualitative requirements, if they meet that, they can continue. So this, what will happen? The first benefit is armed forces will have no problem with manpower, because from these segments only they will continue their service in armed forces even after 4 years. You have large number of trained youth in the various corporate sectors, various government jobs, where they will get preference because of this 4 years of service. They deserve to get some benefit out of this. That's why maximum youth will come for this national service. Third, oh my God, what a large scale manpower will be readily available for the government. Suppose tomorrow we have a war with any of our neighboring country. Imagine the second line is ready. Fourth, you need a trained manpower in the CRPF, in the BSF. See, this manpower is readily available. They should be the one who should be given a choice to join the CRPF. And that's how they will join the tour of duty. And after passing the written examination and some additional training, whether in the CRPF or BSF, they are observed in that particular service. Perhaps this 4 years of service may be counted for their continued service in the CRPF or BSF or any other paramilitary forces. So tour of duty, I feel the government policy has to be very clear. It's a great idea provided if implemented properly. So it is going to meet all the ends of the government, also reduce the pension budget, which is perhaps in the minds of some of our people at the higher echelons who are planning the future of the defense forces, because the pension budget is increasing greatly in the last few years. So large number of them, because maximum soldiers are required up to 4 years, so they would have gone. Only people who are required in the higher service, some of them will be observed. So overall the pension budget is going to go down. And this manpower who is going out also is a beneficiary, because their preference in joining the corporates, joining the any civil government jobs, also the paramilitary forces. So it is a win-win situation for the government and for the youth, of course for the armed forces. Let's hope the government policy becomes clear in this. The earlier it comes, the better it is. And it is going to invite a lot of debate, a lot of criticism. Till the time the clarity of policy is not there, it is very difficult to really comment on this. But that's what I feel is going to help not only the armed forces, but overall the government and our financial situation, if this tour of duty is implemented with the right thinking, with clarity of mind, with keeping the benefit of the youth as well as the armed forces. Guys, you must write your comments so that we can make another video on this. And let me tell you, I am going to introduce a group discussion on this in our short club. To participate in this group discussion, whether there are guys for it, there are guys against it, Let's see whether how the youth of the country feels about the tour of duty. Thank you guys. Till the time we meet next, by then hopefully the government policy is going to be clear on this. Thank you.